video I want to talk a little bit about guitar bends and just various flavors of it. For starters, a typical usage of a bend is to get from one note to the other one. Usually the kind of cliche blues guitarist bend is, in this example I'm playing a D and I'm bending it to an E, and doing it on the B string. And to practice this bend, you need to make sure that you're in tune. So if you're starting on this note, you need to get to this note. You can use a tuner or you can just use your ear, but and also when you're bending a note, it's easier to do vibrato, this wide vibrato, because you are not only going up, you can also go down. So you can have this very, very wide, exaggerated, Zakk Wylde-like vibrato. So that's that. And then there are different flavors of bends that I can think of. One of them is this sort of Eric Clapton kind of a bend. So if we analyze it, we start again on the D, we bend it to an E, I guess, and then we bring it back to the original pitch, and then slowly kind of scoop it to that pitch, barely making it. You don't even have to have a lot of vibrato, but this sound, it sort of has a lot of tension to it. It's like, what is this note? Is it in tune? It's not quite in tune. It's like, there it is. So that's one flavor of a bend. And then the other flavor of a bend that I can think of is just overshooting it, just like not aiming for a specific note, but simply playing the note and then just trailing off into the stratosphere. Like. It's not like I'm bending this C to an E, but I'm just. It's like, has a lot of, I don't know, a lot of sadness in it or something. Sadness, frustration, anger maybe. And when you practice bends, as I said earlier, use a tuner if you're a beginner, so you can successfully bend from D to an E and be in tune, not be like sharp. And for people who started late, they don't really hear the how in tune it is, and I recommend relying on a clip-on tuner or something like that. Maybe even using an open string for reference. When you're doing bends, it always depends on the type of instrument that you're playing. If you have a floating tremolo like this one has, you have to work more to do the same kind of a bend, because when you're bending a string, I don't know if you can see this, but the tremolo arm actually bends with the string. So as a result, if you have a floating tremolo, you have to work more than you would need to work if you had a Les Paul type of a setup with a fixed bridge, because the strings pull on the whammy and the whammy bar actually gets depressed. And also, it depends on the scale of your instrument, the string gauge, the action, I guess, but mostly if you have a floating tremolo or not. So if you can't take your technique that you've developed for many years on a Stratocaster and apply it to your fixed tailpiece guitar like a Les Paul, you're going to overshoot. So you always have to kind of use your ears, and I don't know, I used to be very particular about my instruments when I first started. I was just playing my Les Paul and everything else felt weird, but now I play all these different instruments and I quickly adjust my technique. So there you go. One more bend is a double stop bend. Works very well on the B and the G string, simply with your little finger and your ring finger, the same fret. You can apply the same technique. Oh, there's also unison bend, I forgot about that. The unison bend is when you have your lower string be bent to the same pitch as your higher string, and the trick, the ideal situation is you want it to be dissonant so that you can hear the waves beating. So if you just do this, it doesn't really do anything. You have to make it dissonant. So there you go. A little lesson on bends. If you like what you see, please subscribe, like, and comment. Thank you.